Hello again, friends. Thanks for coming back. I'm going to talk a little bit today about chord scales. And this is further developing my caged, uncaged system. In this particular lesson, I'm going to go up, just going to ascend or descend through the notes of the C scale here, like C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C octave. And so what a chord scale is when you take the three basic notes, if it's just a three-note chord scale, or if it's a seventh chord scale, you add the fourth note on top, as would be the seventh. And in its most basic form, though, it's just three notes. You'd have C, then you'd have D minor, then you'd have E minor, then you'd have F major, G major, A minor, and B half diminished back to C. And the way you can figure these out on your own, if it occurs to you to try something like that, is every chord in that scale has to have only notes in it from the C major scale. So if it doesn't have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C in it, if it's got something else, it's not in the right scale, chord scale. So in other words, if you have that augmented fifth in there, you're playing a chord wrong here. Okay, so if you want to do this linearly, starting here at the first position, C. Actually, I think I start here at third position, C chord A shape, which is here at the third fret. You can either play it, it's played like an A down here. So you can either play it with a double bar there, like I'm doing. Actually, I'm just doing the middle four string, so I'm not barring my index, just my ring finger. So it's right there at the third position, C chord A shape. Then I'm going to D minor at the fifth fret. It's like an A minor position. Same thing up, 2 frets higher. The seventh fret is E minor. Then the double bar, again, F at the eighth fret. Then G at the 10th fret, double bar again. Then A minor at the 12th fret, and then back up here, or B half diminished at the 14th fret, and that brings you up to that A shape, an octave higher at the 15th fret, octave higher than you started out at the third fret. So you can do it here. Or you can do it up the neck, linearly. So there you go, that's the C major chord scale. Okay, so now I'm going to start the chord scale in C major, and instead of just the three-note version, I'm going to do the seventh, which is a four-note chord scale. Starting with C major 7, then the second chord in the key of C would be D minor 7. So that's like a D. You go down to that flat 7, D minor 7. I'm just doing a bar on the first fret with my index finger on those B and E string. Then E minor 7 for the third chord in the chord scale. You can play the seventh by playing that D string open, or you can add the pinky on that D an octave up on the third fret of the B string. So you have a C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7. Then you go to it's F major 7 because that E is in the C scale, right? If you were to play F dominant 7, you'd have an E flat, which isn't in the C scale, so it's F major 7. Then G dominant 7, because the G major 7, that F sharp isn't in the scale, but the F natural is. So Then when you get to A minor, it's A minor 7. Then the B minor is a B minor 7 flat 5. So you have the B in the bottom, the flat 5 here on the D string 3rd fret, the 6th on the, the flat 7 here on the A note on the G string, and then the minor 3rd on top, B string 3rd fret. It's like if you think of a B minor 7 played with a bar like just your A minor 7, and you bring that up 2 frets to the B minor 7, all you have to do is just flat that 5th note, which is my ring finger here. And since you're going to flat it, you're going to bring it down. It's a little crowded like that, so I would generally change fingers here. I'd bring my flat 5 down there and grab that with the middle finger, bar the A and the G string with my index finger at the 2nd fret, and play it like that. Or you can use all 4 fingers. 1, 3, 2, 4 fingers, and it's 1st, flat 5th, flat 7, minor 3rd. Is a B minor 7, flat 5, which is a B half diminished. Back to your major 7. Okay, so let's look at that same scale played linearly up and down the neck as opposed to in the same position. There are different ways to play this up and down the neck, of course. The easiest is just to keep your fingers in the same 3 fret spread there. 3rd fret there I am at with my C major 7, D minor 7 at the 5th fret, E minor 7 the 7th fret. Then you're at F major 7 at the 8th fret, G dominant 7 at the 10th fret, A minor 7, 12th fret, and that brings us to the B half diminished or B minor 7 flat 5 at the 14th fret, back to the 15th fret for our C major 7 up an octave from where we began down here at the 3rd fret. So that's how I like to play it generally. But the most clearest way to explain it is if you just play the chords stacked just like that C major 7 is, where I have 4 chords. I've got 1, 3, 5, 7 on these 4 strings on the A, D, G, and B strings. Then I go up here to D minor 7. The only reason you don't see people play it like this very often is because it's a bit of a stretch. Then you have well, see what I mean? Pinky on the 5th fret of the A string there, and I'm actually making an F chord up here because the D minor 7 is basically an F with a D in the bass. Then I would, I'm going to have to get that a little cleaner. There you go. Then you come up to the E minor 7, same way. Which is, and the E minor 7, once again, is just a 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7. You might recognize that G on top because G and E minor are relative major and minor, just like F and D minor are. So E minor 7, then F major 7, and our C shape here at the 5th fret. Then G dominant 7 would be, and here you have a real spread where you got to put a fret in between your ring and your middle fingers. So I'm 6th fret, 7th fret, 9th and 10th frets. So it's and going from the bottom up, it's 1, 3 flat, 1, 3, 5 flat 7s. Now these are great stretch exercises as well. Then up to the A minor 7, instead of playing it like I did a minute ago, up here at the 12th fret like that, I'm going to have it at the 8th fret now, where it's actually 1 flat 3, 1 flat 3, 5 flat 7. Just in order like that, and just once again, like we had the relative major and minor down there, we have now C chord with an A in the bass, because A minor is a relative major to 6th. Relative minor to C major, and that brings us up to our B half diminished or minor 7 flat 5 chord, which is Actually, right there, yeah, I can do that. Since it's a G note. So I got to make a bar there somehow at that 10th fret. So I'm doing a B in the bass, flat third, flat 5, and natural 7 on the top. B minor 7, flat 5. Brings us back to our major 7 C shape as we an octave up from where we started out down here at the 1st fret. So there you go, folks, in the C position, starting out, and then showing it to you linearly as well from the 3rd fret and from the 1st fret position or open string position. That's your C chord scale. And once again, that transfers to all the other caged letters as well, A, G, E, and D. You know, you can it's just a matter of learning where to put these. There you go. It's one way to play it. In G, and then E down here you have E. I would do it right here. And then D. There you have it. Chord scale in the key of C major and C major 7. So once again, just bringing these concepts up to kind of drive home the basic concepts in music theory, dealing with chord and scale development. And this all does tie back into the caged system, which I'm bringing out here pretty soon. I'm just working on it now. Caged, uncaged is what I'm going to call it. So be on the lookout for that, and I appreciate your listening. Be sure once again to subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and like it if you like it. Appreciate you listening.